Judge Anderson and DA Mulroy that want to get on this crusade of social justice and try to save all of these people that are committing crimes and to enroll them in restorative justice. Look, I'm sure Jesus loves them, but everybody else thinks they're doing an awful job.
A teenager charged with first-degree murder for a gun trade gone wrong is now out on his own recognizance. But this came from a judge despite the recommendations from the attorneys and the DA's office.
Fox 13's government reporter Kayla Solomon is joining us live outside of 201 Poplar. Kayla, this is a decision that has law enforcement and even elected officials really scratching their heads.
Yeah, Darcy, today we heard from the Memphis Police Association that described frustration among the officers. We also heard from state leaders who say they're considering going into this next legislative session to discuss bills that will help combat some of the bonding and jail problems that we're seeing here in Shelby County. This all stems from this one case where an 18-year-old is now out on his own recognizance after being charged with first-degree murder.
I don't know what somebody has to do to get bail in this community. I guess you have to murder a busload of nuns to really get any serious consequences in this community.
A revolving door, lack of serious consequences. These are some of the phrases elected officials are using to describe crime and the court system here in Shelby County.
And to have that judge then release this defendant wanted for first-degree murder, to release him on his own recognizance, again, absolutely pissed me off. And then it's not just the fact that Judge Anderson's own animus toward the bail system is influencing, I think, his decisions.
Eddie White was charged with first-degree murder for his involvement in the death of Anthony Mason on Thanksgiving. Records show both White's attorney and the district attorney's office recommended a $75,000 bond. Instead, Judge Bill Anderson recommended White's release on his own recognizance. This decision prompted Senator Brent Taylor to write a letter to the state. The Memphis Police Association is also expressing frustration.
It's very frustrating when you see someone especially responsible for a crime of that nature, a crime of that seriousness, get right out, because in my experience as a law enforcement officer, I would say greater than 90% of them have committed that crime or will recommit that crime when they get back out.
Sergeant Matt Cunningham, vice president of the Memphis Police Association, says he's heard the complaints from officers.
Unfortunately, sometimes, we can't control what's out of our control, obviously. And setting of bail, releasing someone on their own recognizance, the authoring of policy that may constrict on when we can and cannot pursue, things like that. These are all things outside of an officer's control, but we have to work within the constraints.
Now, one of the bills that Senator Taylor says he plans to propose is making sure that if someone violates bond, it gets added as an extra charge. And of course, that would add time to a sentence if they do end up being sentenced. Darcy.
That is Fox 13 government reporter Kayla Solomon reporting live downtown tonight. Thank you so much, Kayla.